to a special edition of Grit, a hockey podcast. My name is Dakota. I'm currently battling the second COVID shot, so I feel like shit.
Can you see cell phone towers through walls?
I did that during the first one. The second one comes with like bionic arm upgrades, if I remember correctly.
Okay, that's tight.
Oh, sick.
Oh, so you have a third arm now. Okay.
How often do you get messages from the government?
Well, I was getting lots of those before the upgrade, so you know.
If you touch the NFC chip on your credit card, does it get stored in your memory?
Yeah, it's just basically Ghost in the Shell, but in real life. I don't know why anybody was scared of this robo overlord. So as you can tell, I'm joined by a bunch of dudes. One of those dudes is Jake.
Hey, hi, that's me. I have cannoli.
I'm also joined by Dylan.
Hello, I am jealous of Jake's cannoli.
A lot of people are.
I'm also here with Devin.
I have a pizza coming. I'm hungry.
And finally, we have Indy.
I am also hungry and also want cannoli. Where's my cannoli, Jake?
You say it right, and I might hand some your way.
All right, so the deal with this episode is it's going to be much shorter than our normal episodes. We are going to discuss Game 1 and Game 2 of Round 1 of the Avalanche playoff series. We're going to be doing these every 2 games or so. And for the most part, we're just going to stick with the Avalanche. We're probably going to not do regular episodes while this is going on, unless something truly monumental happens and we need to dedicate an episode to it, which I don't necessarily foresee, so...
Yeah. Welcome to playoffseason.mp4.
Yes. So the Avalanche currently hold a 2-0 series lead over the St. Louis Blues.
Get fucked.
They've been kicking ass.
Yes, the Blues have received blue balls.
No.
Yeah, they just can't
Blues
finish.
have also been kicking ass, but it's not like, in a hockey way. It's more of an
They've
I'm
just
trying to
been
hit you in the head
actually
all the
kicking
time way.
ass, yeah.
I was about to say, they have done a great job of sending 2 people to hit every person who is a puck carrier. It is a great tactic. Please continue doing it, you dumb fucks.
And, punching Makar in the face and throwing him down to the ice, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into this one, we knew that the Blues were going to play a heavy game. That's what they are known for. It's how they won the Cup a couple
The
years
Avs, to be
back.
clear, have done nothing wrong across these 2 games.
No, not even one thing.
Not even one player has done
I was
anything
about
wrong.
to say, everyone every play that has happened so far is illegal. We do not talk about the incident.
So let's start with Game 1. Game 1 kind of went down the way that you guys said. The Blues were sending 2 people at every single puck carrier, opening up a lot of ice for the Avalanche, and they just made them pay.
Yes.
Yes. That's about the only other thing that happened that night was Binnington basically was trying to goalie us that entire game, and then the dam broke. He got
Yeah.
scored on,
Yeah.
and then just nothing else happened for that man, to the point where he even would go down the ice at the end to yell at Grubauer for punching his teammate in the face, even though Binnington already did that earlier too by grabbing Confer's face and face washing him.
What happened in the game?
I
you're
have to
watching?
say, I was gonna say live hockey updates and podcasts is not something that is uncommon in the world of hockey
No,
podcasts.
It means you've made it, even if you haven't. Smile.
The Cats tied it up. Get fucked with the Lightning.
Oh,
Hell
oh
yeah.
no.
He ripped it barring in, dude. Sideways barring in, but it was not Bardowski.
Well,
It
my
doesn't count
prediction
then.
is still live.
Yeah, I mean, even that first game, this actually happens a lot with me in the playoffs, is I get so fucking emotional and pissed and excited and all kinds of whirlwindy things that I just kind of forget about the games.
Yeah.
After they happen. I just remember the Avs being tight and the Blues not really giving us much of a problem other than fucking Binnington.
Well, so
Well-
I think the huge moment in Game 1 was the Braden Shen hit on Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
Oh.
That did happen.
Oh,
That is right.
yeah. That
Um,
fight, the
Unfortunately,
game-
it wasn't his knee. Upon closer inspection, it was his hip.
Yeah.
But it was still a
looked-
dog shit hit.
It looked to me like he kind of went in with the knee, realized what was happening, and then adjusted and kind of like jumped to like try to not go knee to knee, but still hit him. So it was still kind of like a messed up hit, just wasn't as
Well, yeah.
like, fucked up as it could have been.
When Tony X on Twitter, famous Blues fan, he was cheering for the hit, and I was like, "It's a knee, dude. Fuck off!" And then like 2 hours later, he replied with a clip of like a very specific side view of the knees not touching, and I was like, "Well, I'm sure you knew exactly how that went down when you cheered for it, Smile." But anyway, it wasn't
Get
on the
owned
knee,
on
but it
Twitter.
still sucked as a hit. It should. Yep.
So Landeskog fought Shen because of that. Beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, he did.
We got a good radio call out
Chicklets was actually watching that game live as they were recording,
of it. Mm-hmm.
and Ryan Whitney was like, "Landeskog beat the fuck out of Shen." And I was like, "Yeah, Ryan Whitney, he did. He did beat the fuck out of Shen."
The only thing that Shen did during that fight was miraculously got one punch straight to Landeskog's face that broke his nose immediately.
Yeah, and his nose was already fucked up too, so it was just worse.
Yep.
Still beautiful though.
Yep.
Landeskog's nose could be 90 degrees, and honestly, I'd still just be totally into it.
So yeah, Landeskog picked up a Gordie Howe hat trick in that game. 1 goal, 2 assists, and a fight. I saw 1 assist and 2 assists being thrown around. I don't know what they ended up crediting him with. But he got at least 1.
I think he got 2 assists by the end of the night, but I don't know. I would have to go look back at the scoring summary.
Yeah. So yeah, like Landeskog set the tone. He really changed the course of that game because after that, the Avalanche were just completely dominant. The Blues looked like they were going to continue to try to, do their game plan, and it just did not work for them. They made some like minor adjustments. Oh, okay, what's going on?
Braden Point.
Fuck. Braden Point is what happened, so I'm assuming the Lightning are back up.
Listen, I cannot, but I always think it's fun when it happens on shit that I listen to. And this game has been very good. This series has been.
Dude, that first game was insane.
Anyway, I know. I'm sorry for my interruptions.
No, you're fine. The Blues made some adjustments during game 2. For the most part, they were still, heavy hitting and, shitheads. They just like stopped throwing 2 people at people every single time and just did it some of the time. And they came away a little bit better for that.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did remember in the first game, Landeskog almost got fucking brained.
Yeah.
And he tripped and fell, so the guy smashed his stick into the boards, like the glass instead.
Yeah.
Like they were doing that the whole game. Like
Yep.
a ton of clips of them just trying for it. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, they've been going for headshots a lot this series. The Avalanche have kind of returned it in kind.
Well, the problem is the Avalanche got the headshot and arguably another one, but meh. As a wise fan base once said, he had his fucking head down. Smile.
Dude, I hate that. It happened in the regular season 2 in that Vegas game when McNabb hit Rantanen. And they were like, keep your head up, kid. And I'm like, his head was up. Like, his head was straight up the whole time. He still got an elbow to the fucking face. Can't control that.
Even more specifically, fucking when Sammy Blay got suspended for hitting Taves in the head. Like game 1 or something, game 2. That's what they said. They're like, he has his head down. But hey, fucking Bortuzzo, he was like falling and Jost just got him with his elbow because Bortuzzo's like a foot taller than Jost. So, he's way down. He's leaned way forward. And he's like, that's the most predatory hit I've ever seen in my life. Player safety was saying that they're not going to touch Jost.
Good.
Yeah, I was about to say, good.
They confirmed it.
The thing is, if you're going to say that's the dirtiest play you've ever seen, go ask the Nashville player who had his spine reorganized by Bertuzzo's cross checks.
It was Arvidsson. I just watched that last night.
Yeah, like, please, ask him how his spine feels. Because it probably does not feel the same.
Yeah, I guess since we're on it, fucking Bortuzzo was just skating at Jost. Jost braced himself, but Bortuzzo was leaning forward and like ran right into Jost's fucking elbow.
Yeah.
Honestly, face first. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It wasn't dirty.
So it kind of reminds me of the reverse hit during the Capitals Bruins game the other night. Marchand flipped, I think, Hathaway over him. And I was just in there going like,
funny.
It was like you deserve it because the guy was going high and Marchand just looked at him and just dipped low and flipped him almost into his own bench.
Well, and it was such a not big deal too that like it wasn't even highlighted on TV. Whoever
Yeah.
took the clip had to like stabilize it as the camera was leaving to like catch it happen. So I don't know.
Jost has been kind of a menace in this one. He was bullying Tori Krug, and I have to say,
I know.
if you get bullied by Tyson Jost, maybe reconsider your career path.
Yeah, I think he like stole fucking Confer's
Identity.
fucking soul level for his stats on instigating because he's been a real asshole and Confer's done nothing. So I think Jost was just like, "Yep, I'll take this."
Give me your wallet and car keys, bitch. I'm driving this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We've kind of talked about it. We talked about it when we were discussing players, but Jost has the most. I love
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
He's been
Yeah.
great, dude.
Jost has been doing real good.
Yep. He's been a very pleasant surprise this year. So game 2 happened, and that was a 6-3 win for the Avalanche. The Avalanche have been very dominant in the like areas that they have been just absolutely dominating in. I guess if that makes sense, like they have been so much better than the Blues when they are any bit better than the Blues that it is like absolutely ridiculous. And there's
Yeah.
just been some spooky moments when the Blues start to try to like come back, and then the Avs are just like, no,
Yeah.
we're gonna shut that down. Fuck you, you're done. There is no comeback.
Yeah, I think the level that they attempt is kind of what the experience intangible that everybody talks about is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that push that they're capable of, even though they're not like a very good team, and their ability to honestly come back from a terrible season to make the playoffs is the thing that everyone says, oh, they're an experienced team. They did the thing, so they got it. And it wasn't good enough.
Nope. Because they made a really big push in that
It was
second
huge.
game.
Mhm.
And the Avalanche were just like, no, this is ours. It's always been ours.
Especially
It will always
after
be ours.
that event, which shall not be named.
So, for me, I feel like I saw exactly what I called. Exactly what most of us called the other night when we said that the Blues were just going to be annoying. And eventually we were just going to win.
Yep.
We definitely saw them being annoying. And then us eventually winning. So, I know we have more games against them, but that's just what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Well, see, my thing is, when I said they're going to be, extra annoying, I was more assuming that they would just be absolutely smothering and just not allow anything to happen within a game. But they haven't been doing that, mainly because they are sending 2 people per guy for hits. Like,
Yeah.
they literally just, they've been sacrificing their, like, main good key point of what they do to try to lay out hits and try to injure, basically.
They've been playing like a long game where they're like trying to make it seem like they're gonna go for a game 7 where the Avs are gonna be like tired and shit. But in the like
Yeah, and Landy's gonna like go offside, and
in the process of doing that, they're like setting up a 4-0 sweep because they've been
Yeah.
so bad.
well, to that point, in the first fucking game, they sent 2 people to hit somebody at the blue line, and it gave us a 2-0, which we didn't capitalize on because Bennington decided he was just gonna see the future. But like you're totally right, they're fucking going for it. They're trying to hit us to the point where they don't even give a shit about playing defense half the time.
Yeah, and earlier you were talking about the intangible and like that X factor that the Blues might have, and how that coming into play at the end of the second game, and not being enough, kind of can give us an idea of how this series is going to go. But one thing
Yeah.
that a lot of people didn't predict going into this is that Ryan O'Reilly's fucking trash this series. He's been so bad.
I really wanted to
Yeah.
interrupt you because you said the X Factor, and then I was gonna make a joke about his nickname being Factor and about him not showing up. But you went straight into where I thought it was gonna go. Oh no.
More lightning goals.
Yep. But yeah, so I actually thought it was funny. I was like, is he going to bring up Ryan O'Reilly? Because if he doesn't, I'm going to say, yeah, their factor definitely hasn't showed up. And we got there.
Their Conn
He's
Smythe
done
winner.
shit, dude. He's -7.
He's -7. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's been on the ice for all 7 of McKinnon's points then.
But if you're a Blues fan, that's really concerning because that is your shutdown guy. That is your defensive forward who's super responsible and is going to take away the dangerous chances for the Avalanche, and he's getting absolutely fucking cratered this series.
He's not doing anything.
The only time he did anything was when they purposely got him away from McKinnon and started putting him against Jost.
Yeah.
And nothing against Jost, but he's not Nathan McKinnon. So he's not going to just blow past O'Reilly. But also, Jost plays more defensively anyways. So
well, and McKinnon's also just been playing an exceptional defensive game too.
Oh yeah, no, McKinnon.
There have been some crazy back checks. Yeah. I mean, they were hemmed in our zone for a little bit. The top line was, and then McKinnon just made a really good read on what pass they were gonna make. The Blues were gonna make, and just picked it off. And it was like, well, you don't always see McKinnon put a lot of effort in defensively. He's been good defensively this season, but you sometimes see him
just give up and go to the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. And he just kind of didn't. You know, he wants to fucking win goddamn playoffs.
Yeah.
And I can respect that. Well, and I think, this is a discussion I was having in a Discord last night, and everybody kind of took him out of the MVP stuff, right? Just because of Connor and Draisaitl and Matthews, and for some reason, a bunch of Canadian players are having a really good season compared to everyone else. I couldn't tell you why.
I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, all the national media and Canadian media is like, no, it's the exact same. The West is way weaker, and yeah, totally. You know, all these Canadian fucking players are just excelling because they're better than everyone else, obviously. But I feel like if McKinnon continues at the pace that he's at, he automatically is right back in that best player as good as McDavid fucking tier, especially since McDavid threw up donuts last night.
Yeah, I was about to say, him and McDavid and Draisaitl threw up donuts last night, and it looks like right now, at the current moment, the Maple Leafs are even though it's just the first period, they're down 1-0 against the Canadiens.
Oh, that's glorious. I
mean, I got called dumb when I thought the Canadiens would win the series. It's been one period, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
Who knows? But I mean, I even sent Dakota my bracket, and he was like, "There's no way."
No, my bracket was just like, I'm gonna play safe with the the North Division. I'm going to pray the Islanders can get shit done, but right now that doesn't look like that's gonna ever happen.
I did say Florida in 7, and technically that could still happen, but this is really bad.
The gentleman sweep them, or reverse sweep. The gentleman sweep is one game.
Yeah, one game. You give them a little wraparound.
So I do have a question for you though.
Okay.
If Nathan McKinnon gets a Conn Smythe this year, which for those that don't know is the most valuable player in the playoffs, and he has a good season next year, does he get a reputation heart?
I think there's a lot of room for him to get a reputation heart anyway. I just think
twice.
I think if this season was a normal season, he probably would have won it this year. If Canadian superstars didn't have some sort of intangible benefit that I mean, what could it be, right? Who knows? Like I said, people just say it's an equal division to everybody else. It's fine, but I don't know. I feel like it was a normal season, McKinnon probably would have gotten the looks, but as it stands, I mean, all these people are putting out preliminary lists, and he's not even on them. So
yeah, it's rough. It's been frustrating for sure to see him lose to Hall first, and then over this last year lose to Draisaitl. I mean, I understand that Draisaitl had like 187,000 points or whatever, but he also let in 188,000 goals, so.
And also, they didn't even theoretically really. No, they did make the playoffs. They lost to the Blackhawks immediately.
Yep.
Congratulations. And I think McDavid had like maybe 5 goals during that series.
I'm really interested to see if he just ghosts. If we can have Casper McDavid.
Oh, dude, that'd be
Yeah.
awful for them.
If
It
McDavid
would be great for me though.
if McDavid and Draisaitl both just vanish during the playoffs, and let's say like if Matthews also does it, like that is just Canada's worst fucking nightmare right there.
Yeah.
Your 3 top players just disappearing when it actually truly fucking matters.
I honestly think that if the Habs beat Toronto and the Avs somehow weren't there for it, and Carolina doesn't do what they need to do, I think I'm doing Habs. I think I'm doing any Canadian team. Jets or Habs. If fucking Colorado and Carolina get knocked out, which I mean, it can happen, but I don't feel like it's the
Likely.
likeliest situation. But I'm rooting for an off-kilter Canadian team if they're still in.
Yeah.
The first cup Canada's had in like 20 years, and it's from a team nobody gives a fuck about, dude.
Yeah,
Imagine it being
1993.
Winnipeg. Oh, yeah.
Again, I would laugh if it was the Canadians again. It's like, yeah, we're the only Canadian team that can get cups now.
Dude. Well, because if fucking Winnipeg. Well, so the issue is the Canadians have a ton of fans. Winnipeg is
Yeah.
the smallest market in the league.
Oh yeah.
And Canada would rally behind them as Canada's team hashtag if they got there. But at the end of the day, the Winnipeg Jets being able to sit there and just be like, might be the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Canada finally got a cup, and it's in the smallest market.
So, I think potentially the last thing, if you guys want to get into it, the hit that didn't happen, Nazem Kadri.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I mean, okay. Dylan, what do you think about that Kadri hit? Oh!
Yeah.
Did my response really make you feel that good?
Oh, what a shot. Sorry,
You're
continue.
gonna have to turn that game off, buddy.
Oh, my pants are stiff.
Anyway,
Dylan, what do you think about that hit?
it's not a good look. I know that some people have been comparing it to Wilson, and I don't know. I have to watch it again to really have any sort of opinion that way. But I'm not happy that it's here. Not happy that it happened.
You got the slow mo. A dude got his eggs sunny side up, really, really cooked, and they zoomed in on his face when he was on the ice, and he looked like he was unconscious as fuck.
Yeah, he most definitely was not aware of where he was because he was.
He had the glassy,
asleep.
half open eyes.
Yeah.
I am going to make the claim that I don't think it was as bad as Wilson, but I do
I
think it was pretty fucking bad.
don't know that I agree with you on that one.
I'm
unless we
going
were
to
gonna...
say it was. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say unless you want to talk about intent, because
That is where I am coming from when I say that.
objectively, I think the hit is probably worse because of what happened. After looking at some of the angles about like the path he took and stuff like that, I think that it's hard to tell whether or not he meant to go that high on him. Obviously, if he
Well,
did,
the issue
that's
is he
fucked up.
kind of didn't go high. Listen, I'm not defending the hit, but he was leaned forward.
Yeah.
It's not like Naz like went high with like chicken winged him up high. Like he definitely elbowed him in the head, hit him straight in the fucking face. But there was no jumping, right? There was no like real change in direction that was specifically like, ooh, let's get this done. And he was leaned forward. I think Naz has been hitting people long enough to know that like what he's doing in that situation. I think he was aware of it. But I don't think it was like, I'm going to ruin this guy's whole career. Levels of intent.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That hit was really fucking bad though.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, it's a bad hit, and I don't agree with with comparing it to like the recent things that Wilson has done. But Wilson has done basically the same thing multiple years in the playoffs and has only been slapped on the hand once.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Bennett got 1 game for that boarding, and that was not good stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the most malicious boards I've ever seen.
I know. He literally charged full speed as fast as he could from the opposing team's goalie all the way to his fucking zone. Like, that's basically what he actually did it from the bench, but for exaggeration's sake, he was like in Spain and saw that dude saw that guy's numbers and kept going. So I don't know, man. The word on the street from people in the know is that he might be out for the entirety of the first and second rounds.
And I am of the
I-
opinion that if they hand out that sentence, arbitration is going to tell them no.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, right? I think they'd at least try to get that to happen. I think Naz's camp would definitely be like, "Hey, hold up, we're gonna challenge this one."
So
And
you
I
have
think
to
they
hand it
Um,
out to him.
Yeah,
Based on Department of Player Safety's past, I think that would be very unreasonable.
I mean, I think it's kind of trash for the information to come out that Peros didn't even want to suspend Wilson for that 7 games before.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't want to do anything now, obviously. Not for Naz, but for Wilson more recently. And for them to just be like, "Oh yeah, you're out for, what could be 15 playoff games." Not
I
15,
think that
fucking
would be absurd.
12. Math hard. Assuming we pushed to 7 twice, first and second round, he could miss a shit ton of time.
Yeah.
If that's how they do it. And I think that is not good.
I expect, or I guess I should say, I would want it to be like a 3-5 situation. If they wanted to enforce those kind of hits across the board, I would be okay with them being longer. I suspect that based on Department of Player Safety's history, it'll be either 1 or 2, or it'll be a gross exaggeration. Like there is not going to be a quote reasonable number of games for this one. I think that 1 or
I don't
2 is
know.
a bad message to send. And I think that an exaggerated suspension would result in arbitration saying no, yeah, you literally cannot do this, so fuck yourself.
They're going to be like, "Well, you wanted us to lay the fucking hammer down last time, and now you guys are cool with it."
It's a great situation they've made for themselves, eh?
Yeah. I think that I would be really, really interested to look through suspension history and see what situations have arisen where somebody's been offered an in-person hearing and then has gotten less than the 5 games.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody's offered that hearing, generally they get the 5 game. For the homies, you can't get more than a 5 game suspension from a phone hearing. So
Okay.
if you could possibly get more, they're going to offer you an in-person hearing. And you can decline it and get a phone hearing, but that formality is what signifies that is what allows you to get more, basically.
Right. If you get this, you're likely not going to get less than.
Yeah, I can't think of a situation where they've gotten the in-person and then have gotten 1 game or a fine or something.
There was one a couple years ago that they offered somebody an in-person hearing, and I can't remember the situation at all. But they offered the in-person hearing. The person explained what went down, what his process was, why he did the things he did, and then walked away with no suspension. So it's not unheard of. It's just incredibly rare.
Yeah. I have no clue, man. I think they're gonna grossly overreact is my prediction. We're doing we're doing suspension predictions like we did playoff predictions, but
Kadri and 8.
let's go down the line. Kadri and 8, okay. Dylan, what do you think?
We hope in Kadri in 5.
Devin.
I feel similarly.
Kadri in 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Andy.
I see him getting. I see him getting 4 games, including the one that they're forcing him to miss by not giving him his hearing.
Yeah.
In 5.
Yep.
Kadri in 7.
To be honest, I
hope
do
not.
think it's going to be somewhere between the 3 to 5 range. I
Yeah.
just think that they can't get away with more because so for the boys who don't know, what happens is when the NHL suspends somebody, if somebody thinks that the suspension is too much, they can talk to a neutral party called, arbitration. And arbitration takes a look at the history of suspensions in the league and determines whether or not the suspension is fair based on the history.
I volunteered to be the neutral party.
Batman would laugh in your face.
And I think that if they give him more than 5, I think arbitration will tell the NHL to go fuck themselves. Because I think that in the history of the NHL, like their recent history, I don't think that there's a precedent for this. So I think arbitration will tell them that they need to lower the amount of games, and it'll end up somewhere between 3 and 5.
Someone in the DMVR Discord was discussing how whether or not we specifically want this to happen, this is part of what you get when you get him, and the Avs were willing to have this happen because they got him. Is that something that you think tracks?
I think that they're not like surprised Pikachu faced about it, right? But at the same time, I think that they really put him in a position to be that second lane center, that position of leadership and primarily a scorer more than a shit disturber, right? So I think that
And he,
That was my take.
yeah, I think
I'll
that
say-
I think that this isn't what they got him for at all.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, I think they got him for stuff like this. More specifically, stuff like the Delorier stuff with like, give him a little knock on the noggin after the whistle and have him be pissed at you for fucking 7 games after that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I wonder if they plan for this stuff. You'd like to say no, and publicly they always would, but I wonder if there's not something there, right? That is like we'd benefit from this at certain points.
Maybe.
I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that or think that, but I wonder what the teams think when that stuff happens and when they know what they're getting.
Yeah.
And if that is true, I think that he did it at the wrong fucking time.
Yeah, he made a bad decision for sure.
I think if he's gonna get suspended for a dirty hit to take an important player out, I think the team would want you to wait. But
yeah,
I feel like now we're without our 2C for a long time, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And while we have a ton of talent, I don't think there's anyone who can just strictly replace what he brings or is supposed to bring because the season's been rough.
Yeah, his season has been rough. His game 1 performance wasn't great, and he did an all right before the hit, but
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to that line of thinking. It was something that I was thinking about. But even if that is what you want from that player, even if you are cheering for him to do that and want to see him make that sort of an impact, I don't even think he did that well.
No.
I think he did the hit bad. I don't think that hit should happen. And I don't think if you do want that hit to happen, you don't want it to happen at that point. So there's like a no-win situation from this.
Yeah.
I guess Falk is a great player, and I guess like maybe he felt like he wanted to send a message because they were being pretty predatory.
Yes.
Or maybe not. I'm not in his mind. But in all the other hits that he got suspended for in the playoffs, there was a direct call and response. In both of those hits against Boston, it was in direct response to something happening to one of his teammates, right?
Yeah.
And this wasn't even that. It was like needless, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
No matter what perspective you're coming from.
Yeah.
We wanted these to be short, so I guess I'll wrap up. I can be as long-winded as you need me to be. But I will say, Avs my final thoughts. I just said Avs my final thoughts. Good fuck.
I thought that was intentional for a second. It was like, oh, that's a choice.
It wasn't intentional. I promise you. I think I need to go to some sort of correctional facility for that. I think I have some sort of speech issue. Yeah. Okay. As my closing thoughts, Varley looks like dog shit in this game.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So Dylan and Devin, how were your first two playoff games?
I thought they were pretty good. However, I was very surprised at the whole lot of no calls. Which I guess I shouldn't be, because it's like they don't want to interfere with the game, right?
We did warn you.
Yeah, you did warn me.
Well, I was thinking maybe like you can warn someone, but I don't think you can prepare someone to like
For that.
truly get it.
I was about to say,
no, that
like,
was wow.
I tried
Yeah.
to prepare people by telling them they basically legalize murder on the ice, and then whenever
It's
I
like
tell
almost a
someone
different sport.
yeah,
And like, I have feelings on that. Like, is it really interfering with the game when you're actively doing things you shouldn't be? I don't know.
Well, it's not like they're doing the normal hooking and like slashing and stuff and just letting that go and having it be fine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
It's the
they,
the ultra violence.
yeah,
they were letting
it's,
people jump into heads, and it's ridiculous.
they're letting
That's
people do all
how-
kinds of things.
That's how the shit like with Kadri happens.
Well, and you're actually right with that. That actually is totally correct. The concept of games getting out of hand because the refs aren't fucking ringing it in.
Reining
Words,
it
whatever, man. Reining it in? Yeah, I guess so.
Reeling it in.
Reeling, I think reeling was the word that my brain was not able to find there. Yeah, but no, that is actually, you're totally spot on with that.
Yep.
The refs just let the game get out of hand, and the game gets out of hand. And
Yeah.
Justin Falk is out for however long.
Yeah. That's where my frustration with the reffing comes from, is that, like, I do think that hits like Kadri's should be like heavily penalized and like suspensions and all this shit, but like they're letting so much go on the ice that within context I cannot like in good conscience say that like that should be as exaggerated a punishment as it should be, just based on the shit that they're just letting go, you know.
Well, and I guess that's the thing I struggle with, right? Is objectively, I think all hits like that should be harshly punished. But in a world where everybody kind of gets off with that stuff, why us?
Yeah.
You know? Why like if Tom Wilson doesn't get the book, why do we get the book? Like maybe it's a little bit of a petulant, like childish complaint, but I don't know, man.
When we set the standard that maybe some head damage is okay, and then all of a sudden it's our turn and it's not okay, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of sets you up for some frustration.
Like objectively, I think Tom Wilson should get like 10 games for like all the shit he's been suspended for.
Mm.
Like I think this 1 game for Sam Bennett boarding, 2 games for some other shit. Like I think 2 games as the normal suspension length for most things is way too low for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you more aggressively punish players, this stuff actually does happen less. But then a bunch of other repeat offenders get off, and all of a sudden, Kadri is the one who gets fucked over on something that I think is lesser. I don't know. If there was a better standard set, I wouldn't be as like irritated by it. But the fact that there isn't just makes me sit here and be like, all right, you're spinning a wheel.
Yeah.
Well, aside from all that, my actual feelings on playoff games. I thought that they were both really fun, fast, and we played strong.
Played with muscles.
Yeah, it was. If this is the norm for playoff games, I'm here for it.
Yes, it is.
With less death.
Yeah, it's stressful when it's your team. That Tampa Florida game was one of the best hockey games I've seen in
Yeah,
years.
I was gonna say, my opinion on the first 2 games that I watched was, wow, the Battle of Florida. And then I was like, oh no, Avs stressful. This is sick, but oh no.
Well, and it's hard for me because it is undeniably entertaining to watch all this happen. You know, all the violence and shit. But, you know, I do feel generally against people getting hurt so much. And it is also entertaining. So for me, I'm just sitting here like, I don't know how to feel about this because this is fun as fuck to watch, but also like, you know, you think about some of the consequences of some of this and it's like,
Yeah. It's
like
mostly the head
MMA.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where like getting your eggs scrambled can really fuck you up for life in a way that like most people aren't prepared for. And I think that
Yeah.
the league should be doing a better job of protecting their players from head injuries, right? Which is why like I would like them to suspend hits like the one Kadri did for like longer than 5 games or so, but I think that that's just not the reality we're in with the rules that the NHL has set up for themselves. So
Yeah. Again, like it could be totally whiny and unfair to be like, well, my guy did it, so I don't want him to be suspended for long. But like in a world where nobody else is getting suspended for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the argument for Tom Wilson's smaller suspension was that more than 18 months had passed since the last one, it's also the case with Kadri. So like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And playoff games carry more weight than regular season games anyway. Like,
yeah, I agree. Did you guys have
but
any more
fuck
thoughts on the
Kadri. Like,
games? Oh yeah, fuck Kadri. It was a dog shit move.
I don't want all of this to get lost in like fuck that hit and fuck Kadri. It's just the musings of like being a fan wanting your team to win. But make no mistake, like I bought a Kadri jersey when we traded for him. I'm very excited about him being on the team. I like him a lot. I want him to succeed, but fuck him and fuck that hit. That was bad, dude.
Yeah.
Was really excited when it looked like he learned last year and didn't do that shit again.
Yep. So did you guys have any more thoughts on the Avalanche games? Or just playoff hockey in general?
I would like to watch some Carolina games.
Yeah. They're up 2-0 in their series against Nashville.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
good.
good.
I'll say they play literally right before the Avs. Actually, the Carolina game last night made it so you couldn't see the first 5 minutes of the Avs game because of their
Oh, on national
their
TV.
end because of their end game celebration because the game actually ended almost perfectly in sync with the
But then
Avs.
they stormed.
Oh,
but
the
they were
storm
showing-
surge.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So you missed the first goal, and people were angry, and I was like, "Yo, chill." But also, yeah, like NBC, don't focus on the storm surge. Like I personally love it, but come on.
That's there for the
Storm
fans in the
surge
building,
is
dude.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
And boy, were there fans in that building.
Oh, they've
Oh,
been
yeah.
crazy the last 2 games.
I was about to say that.
Carolina's
I
I
think
think they're at full capacity.
yeah, they're at full capacity.
Yeah.
There's no way they're not.
Oh yeah, we forgot the most important news. Carolina's cheering for us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
I look forward to also cheering for them and then crushing them when we meet.
In the finals, yes.
In the
Yes.
finals, yes.
Oh, Tavares got like
Tavares?
he's getting stretchered off. He's not getting stretchered off. He got stretchered off. This is half
Oh,
intermission, I
God.
think.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh,
I totally
fuck.
missed that. I guess that was game first period. Jesus.
Really?
so
Fuck,
Habs in
dude,
4.
that. No.
Then Perry
No.
messed him up.
No. It was Perry who fucked him up too. God
Oh,
damn it.
never mind. Corey Perry should get stretchered off. I fucking hate that guy.
Well, Corey Perry is the one who got in the fight. I guess I don't know if it was him that threw the hit.
Oh.
I just looked over and saw.
Yeah, I just saw it replayed. He took Perry fucking kneed Tavares in the head.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was like Tavares had blood streaming down his face as he fell unconsciously to the ice type of shit.
Jesus.
And then somebody fought Perry
yeah, that was
afterwards. Good
bad.
shit. Who is that? Oh,
They're
Plano.
actually.
Plano fought him. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
Plano
not
fought.
good shit. Well, the issue is
Oh.
it doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess I don't fucking know. It's Corey Perry. It's not like he deserves the fucking benefit of the doubt like Kadri like either, you know.
Oh no, that's a knee to the
Um,
fucking head. Like he could
That
have
sentence
avoided
came out
that
like
entirely.
that sentence came out like it sounded like I thought Kadri deserves the benefit of the doubt. To be clear, no.
So Pierre
um,
LeBrun is apparently saying that Tavares is in the hospital right now.
Oh God,
Um,
dude, his neck snapped real
I
fucking
don't think I
awkwardly.
would say that was
That wasn't intentional, but still,
intentional.
dude,
Yeah,
like
I
you
think he
can't
fell
skate.
right into his knee. Actually, looking at that clip. But yeah, so the trainer sits Tavares up, and the Tavares falls straight backwards down.
Yeah, like the trainer tried to get him up, and it just was not working.
He threw a thumbs up while he's on the stretcher, but still, fuck, man, that was
Oh.
brutal. Yeah, it didn't look like Perry like directed contact or anything into him.
It was most definitely the whatever happened with the other player, but as Tavares was falling backwards, I don't know why Perry was skating anywhere. Like, I still feel like you shouldn't be skating near a guy.
I mean, he had no choice. I mean, he, in slow motion it looks bad, but when he's skating fast,
Yeah.
like he falls right in front of him into his path.
Well,
It's not like there was any.
yeah, I was about to say, I guess I've only seen that one replay, and I couldn't tell where the puck was.
Trying to find a different one, but fuck, man, that was not tight.
Okay, I see what happened. So Perry's teammate, whoever fucking number 8 is, basically
Oh.
threw Tavares down, and as he was getting thrown down, Perry skates by. So yeah, that is a total on accident. That is an accidental fucking hit, and I feel real bad.
Yeah, he was tossed right into his path.
Yeah.
Trying to find a clip. I guess this happened like
I have a
right
hang
as
on.
we recorded.
Here we go. I have a link.
So what's going on?
Watch the clip. That is
That's
actually
spooky.
really upsetting to watch him lay on the ice with like concussion arms. Yeah, the trainer is sitting him up and he just falls down backwards, unconscious.
That is uncomfy. Oh,
Yeah, he.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Sherratt just hits him and he fucking.
owie.
Why did the trainer try to
Oh.
get him to stand like upward whatsoever?
I was actually thinking the trainer maybe shouldn't have tried to
Because
sit a guy up.
That was the first
that
thing that I
situation.
learned within that, with like, because I did a fucking class on that shit, and it was like, yeah, rule number 1: if it's a head injury, you do not attempt to
don't
stand this fucker
move.
whatsoever.
Yeah, you don't move the person.
Yeah.
When they almost let him drop to the ice, he has to like rush to grab him before he falls back and hits his head on the ice.
Yeah, that's rough.
That
Fuck, dude.
well, and the full speed, like he's going quick too.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
Actually-
a fact. Like that's why I was like, I only saw the slow mo, so I was like, well, maybe Perry had a chance to. No, he was thrown into Perry. That was entirely not Perry's fault.
And it looks like he actually tries to move out of the way too, but he just falls.
Yeah, no,
right into him.
he tries to jump out of the way. But I was about to say, no matter what, Tavares would have had a really fucked up day if it was.
Everyone's like, I don't know why Faluna wanted to fight Perry. It's fucking accidental. And it's like, it doesn't
No,
matter if
that's
it's
what I was
accidental.
saying.
Like, you're
You
gonna
gotta
fight the guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right, I'm gonna stop watching that. That's. Ugh.
And that game's a shit show now, as it turns out.
Yep.
All right, I'm good to close out the end or whatever, but
Oh.
I saw that on my fucking screen and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
said that, then I looked over to my left and I see the replay happening. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so let's close this out. If you stuck with us this far, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you want to contact the show, you can do so on Twitter at GritHockeyCast. If you want to follow me personally, I'm at Kumodere. That is Kumodere. And if you want to follow Jake, you can find him at
Anime as leaders.
That's right. Anime as leaders.
Nobody
The
else
bit
here
will never die.
has social media that they want to plug. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening and have a good one.
Later.
Bye.